Are you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to the Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Songwriter Show, right here on Reality Radio 101. I'm your host, Sarantos. I'm a solo music artist who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words just mean the world to me, and that's why I'm so thrilled to host this show for you every single Tuesday evening. I believe in my heart that every song is a story. Tonight, I'm so happy to have Lissa Schneckenburger on the show. Over the last several decades, she has made music that showcased everything from traditional New England dance tunes to original songs inspired by her experience as a foster and adoptive parent. Raised in a small town in Maine, she began playing the fiddle at the age of 6, influenced by her parents' interest in folk music. She later graduated from the New England Conservatory of Music and has a degree in contemporary improvisation. She's been writing, performing, and teaching music around the world ever since.
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome to the show, Lissa. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So I guess I have to get this out of the way. And is it okay that you're now a Bear fan and you're abandoning the East Coast? Is that okay with your fans out there?
Oh, I actually have not abandoned the East Coast. That's an interesting question.
Okay. I thought you were coming over to the Chicago side and you're going to be a Bear fan now, and all the Patriot fans would hate you. Okay.
No, they really would. No, my family would disown me. So no, I'm in Vermont, and sadly for the Bears fans, I'm pretty much New England sports all the way.
All right. Well, we're going to try not to let that influence our show here.
Yeah.
So tell me about the fiddle. It's kind of cool. It's one of those instruments I've wanted to play. I've never really picked one up. It's so cool. And I'm trying to remember that country song, The Devil Went to Georgia, where, he outduels the devil in the fiddle or something. I get chills when I hear that song, but tell me about the fiddle.
I don't know. It was a sound that I was really drawn to as a young kid, and then I stuck with it. And, it's my first and still one of my main instruments. So it's really been a fun way to experience the world of music throughout my life. Originally, I was really I played a lot of traditional dance music, like think of like the old time square dances and hoedowns. I played a lot of sort of social dancing music like that, and then have really expanded as I've become more interested in songwriting and writing different types of songs for different genres. But honestly, the fiddle has been with me the whole way through, and that early traditional music influence is still really influencing me strongly now.
That's awesome. So tell us about your songwriting process.
Well, it's different sometimes for different songs. I love variety, and that kind of helps me stay interested and motivated. So some projects will direct the kind of songs that I need to write, and other times I'm just writing based on, whatever I'm in the mood for, or what the whim of the moment is. And so, like I just finished a song commission recently. Somebody hired me to write a song for a suffragette from Ireland, who was active politically in the 19 teens and 20s. And that was a real challenge for me as a songwriter, because I had to be historically accurate, and I had to read up on this person's biography and learn all these different details about her life, and then make it rhyme and come up with a musical genre that would fit the topic, the subject matter. So all of it was challenging. So the first part of my songwriting process with that song was actually procrastination.
Yeah.
I put it off for months, like I was hired to do it. And then I just kept thinking about it and really thinking. And then I was reading up, a little bit more about the history. And eventually I was like, okay, I got to stop researching. I just have to actually write it. And in that case, that song, I started with lyrics. I started by jotting down notes about the person's biography and coming up with a few different key, key events that I really had to include, or I really wanted to include. And then the next step in that song was I actually found, I decided I wanted to write it in the style of an Irish ballad. So I found another song that I loved, and I used the first three chord changes from that song. And I thought, okay, this will get me started. These chords are going to be a fun way to kind of get the juices flowing. And I built a new melody on those chord changes. And then once I had a little melody, it was a lot easier for the rhyme and rhythm of the song, the meter of the lyrics to fall into place. So not all songs, I don't use the same tactic with each song, but that's one example of research, reading, and then a couple of lyrical ideas, chord idea, melody idea, and then more lyrical ideas.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us about any famous influences. Like, who influenced you? Anybody that we would know?
Oh, lots and lots of people. And still to this day, I'm always becoming, I'm always listening to music and gleaning new things. A lot of people these days, this month, everybody's talking about the new Beyonce album and then the new Taylor Swift album. I know that not everybody, it's uncool to really, top of the charts pop stars, but I just love them. I'm super influenced by that kind of thing, the pop charts, but also over the course of my musical history, super influenced by some of the folk songwriters from the 60s and 70s, like Paul Simon, Joni Mitchell. As a kid, I listened to a lot of Cat Stevens, and then also super influenced by a lot of my peers, a lot of other singer-songwriters in the folk genre.
Sure.
So, I love the work of my dear friend, Laura Cortese. She's just an amazing songwriter, and Kristen Andreasen, Aoife O'Donovan, all amazing artists. I love Sarah Jarosz. And again, those are all people that I know through the folk circuit who are just working really hard and on their craft and just putting out really inspiring music.
What is your favorite thing to do that does not involve music?
Oh, good question. Well, depends on the season. Right now it's gardening season. I was just out. I had to come in for this interview and wash the dirt off my hands because I live in this little town, Brattleboro, Vermont. It's 12,000 people, and I have a little yard, and I grow a lot of food in my little yard, and it's a real pleasure to get outside. It's a nice offset. Musicians' work is generally indoors most of the time. I'm practicing inside, playing shows, driving in the car to shows and festivals. A lot of it's indoors. And so it's nice that I'd love to have hobbies that get me outside.
Yeah, and just so you know, since this is audio only, I wouldn't even know if you had dirt all over your microphone and you had a tomato garden right next to you. I wouldn't even know.
Well, it's funny. I actually just did I was on, randomly was on this CBS Sunday morning show, partly a little snippet of music, but mostly they were interested in some of the gardening stuff that I do and some of the more environmentally friendly, activist stuff. And so it was a real funny juxtaposition of here's this fiddler in the garden, and now let's look at the tomatoes.
Yeah. All right. So on a lighter note, tell us about this song we're going to hear. What inspired it?
Oh gosh, Labor On. Well, it may not feel like a lighter note for some people, but Labor On was written for some activist friends who were they were protesting the coal plant in New England. There's one remaining coal plant. It's over across the river from me in New Hampshire. It's not even run for electricity full time year round, but it's still operating. And so there, I had friends that were protesting this coal plant, and they were doing a number of pretty radical, pretty radical activities, like blocking the train tracks when they were trying to get coal shipments to the power plant. And so I wrote them as I was really inspired by their actions. They were peaceful actions, but really intense, and a lot of these protesters were arrested. And at the time that this was going on, it was a few years ago, and simultaneously there were wildfires raging, in Australia. And then there's crazy climate disasters in every corner in all these different places. And it all sort of came together in this song. And I really wanted to inspire people that are working hard together within communities to try to make the world a better place.
Yeah, okay. That's a very good mission. So I'll tell you what, let's take a listen to this song, and then we'll come back and talk some more, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Check this out, everybody. Here we go.
When the darkness overtakes you and you shiver in the cold, when disparity wakes you and you know you must be bold, when you put your body on the line, don't hesitate in fear. We know the train, it is coming, it is near. Labor on, my children, labor on, my friend, labor on, my children. We will not let this be the end. When they dig the earth and turn it into dollars to be made, you can't help but try to save her. For her sake, don't be afraid. While the fire, it rages onward, burning everything it sees, and destruction consumes our decency. Labor on, my children, labor on.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
You're welcome. So, what are you working on now? Do you have anything coming out for the fans?
I just released an album of original tunes. So tunes in the fiddle world, that means an instrumental piece of music. And it was sort of hearkening back to my roots as a child, as a fiddle player. And I have been writing tons and tons of music in the last few years, really since the start of the pandemic. It's just been like, it just feels like the compositions keep flowing, and both songs and tunes, or both songs with lyrics and instrumentals. I have like enough material at this point for like multiple albums. And so I just released an album of mostly instrumental original compositions, which I'm really excited about. It was really fun to put that together with a group of really awesome Northeastern based female traditional musicians. It was really, really fun to do. And that just came out in the last year. And now I'm working on sort of the answer to that instrumental album, which is an original song album. So all that material that's been being written is coming out in different sort of themed albums.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When you look at a place in the world that you've never been to, that you've always wanted to go to, what's number one on your list there?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question because I love to travel and I would literally go anywhere. But just it's hard to pick number one. I suppose I've traveled a lot for music. I've been really fortunate, but I've mostly gone to northern hemisphere parts of the globe. Lots. I've gone to Europe lots. I've gone to Northern Europe, especially lots, and all over the US, all over North America. I would love to go anywhere in Asia. My son and I keep talking about hopefully saving up for a trip to Japan at some point. That would be super exciting. Also, I'd go anywhere in South America, honestly. I think that would be really amazing. I'll have to, of course, narrow it down in time to go there to pick a specific location, but there's time, I think.
Well, the world is a small place, and I want to travel the whole world too. So I'm always curious what fascinates people and where they want to go.
Yeah. Well, I think, I've just heard so many amazing things about Tokyo. I'm a real city person. I like to go try out lots of different restaurants and arts and culture things. And I think it would be really fun to visit Tokyo someday. And I know a number of musicians from Japan, so it would be fun to kind of see where folks come from.
Tell us about your next project that you're looking forward to that nobody knows about yet.
Well, I guess I should say the song album, although I just told everybody about it a couple seconds ago. But I am so excited. A lot of the songs on this next album they have a social justice or racial justice or feminist leaning climate justice theme to them. So I've just been really inspired by people out there who are trying to do good things in the world. Like I said, writing this song recently about a suffragette from 100 years ago, like that was super inspiring. And I am really excited to put out an album of material like that, just about positive things that folks are doing all around the globe. I just actually just spent this past Saturday. I was working on a music video for one of the songs that will be on the new album, and the song is called "I Got You." And it was inspired by these two friends of mine who are modern dancers. And they do this, these two women who dance together, and they do this amazing choreography where they're leaning on each other and they're exchanging weight and balancing on each other. And the whole theme is like, I've got you, I'm going to catch you, I'll be there for you. And their choreography inspired me to write this whole song about community and helping each other and holding each other up when you need support. And that was a really pleasurable experience to just work on the music video this last weekend with the dancers and a film crew and like the song playing. And so I'm so excited for people to hear this album and even see the videos when we get it all out all together.
Awesome, Lissa. All right, I'll tell you what, tell us where people can stream your stuff, buy it. Where can they find you?
lissafiddle.com, and then really anywhere on the internet. Like, I'm on all the streaming sites, but to really support me directly, go to lissafiddle.com, lissafiddle.com. You don't have to spell Schneckenburger, although if you do know how to spell Schneckenburger, like, great, I'll I will be very impressed. But you don't have to.
Okay. But you don't have to, but if you do, she'll like you more.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Lissa. Again, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And to all the listeners out there, thank you for spending a little bit of your super precious time with the two of us. We both appreciate it. My name is Sarantos, and please join me every Tuesday night to hear other amazing artists share their fascinating behind-the-scenes stories right here at the Songwriter Show on Reality Radio 101. Have a great night. I love you all. Love comes in many forms, many shapes and sizes. You accept my flaws, you see me through it all. You're not perfect, no, even when it's not easy. It's sadly in my nature to take risks and look for danger. I could never help myself, pretended I was someone else. I couldn't see past my own lies as you stood up to defy hell. You're my rain guitar, steady and faithful. You're my superstar, never unhateful. You're my rain guitar, my sweet rain guitar. You're my rain guitar, my sweet rain guitar. Dead ends and many walls. Like the clouds, you're gentle. Hold me when I cry and tremble. You're the love and hope I didn't always know I needed. You propped up my weak side. I'm glad I never left you behind. I could never help myself, pretended I was someone else. My own lies as you stood up to defy hell. You're my rain guitar, steady and faithful. You're my superstar, never unhateful. You're my rain guitar, my sweet rain guitar. You're my rain guitar. Everybody should know love like this. You won't melt in the storm. You wait, hate is not your way. You're the best part of my day. You're the best part of my day. You're my rain guitar, steady and faithful. You're my superstar. Sweet rain guitar, you're my rain guitar, my sweet rain guitar. Always there for me, even when
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.